Hi, I'm Ben Buffalo Brown, and I just wanted to share a few my keto experience. I'm not a doctor, obviously, and I'm just sharing what happened to me when I did keto for about 3 months and what it did to my blood work and what my doctor said from there. And yeah, just share my own experiences, and you can make your own decisions from there. Obviously not trying to give anyone medical advice. How's that for disclaimers? Alright, so in December 2023, I decided to start on keto. I had my blood work done, and doing keto, trying to stay with a more healthy keto and staying away from saturated fats to a certain degree. I did have a butter coffee almost every day. So butter coffee has MCT oil, a little butter. I put cream in mine, heavy cream in mine, so there's some saturated fats there. And so let's see what happened. One thing I didn't chart that was kind of interesting and not really related, I'm not going to put up on the screen or anything, but my uric acid, which is a sign of gout, I guess. I'm not a medical person, I'm just telling you, my uric acid went from 6 something to a 9 something, and talked to my doctor about that. She wasn't overly concerned since I don't have any swelling in the feet or legs or anything, and knew what I was doing food-wise. But that's something to be aware of too. Okay, so let's get to the results. Blood work. So the first thing was my hemoglobin. In December, I was at 5.2, which is good, right? And in March, I went up to 5.4, still within the acceptable range. And I'm not super anxious about that change at all. I think, you don't start worrying until you hit 5.7-ish. But again, you have to look that up for yourself. Triglycerides, I can't even say it, triglycerides. Super high level at the start in December, it was at 229. Always, the last couple of years, been a little worried about those creeping up there. And I think that was my highest number ever. And then March is down to 105, which I know is within the acceptable allowance, so pretty happy about that. HDL cholesterol, also known by regular people, I guess, as the good cholesterol. At the start in December, I was at 34, and in March, I'd gone up to 39, so that's a nice positive change. Been eating a lot of nuts and a lot of fish, salmon and sardines and stuff like that, so that's a good change. Weight, now my primary goal here was to get my weight down, because I have some big bicycle rides planned this summer, and every pound, believe me, makes a difference, especially when you're climbing hills and stuff on your bicycle. Even an ounce difference has an impact. So my weight was in December about 258, and then come March I hit 249. Actually went a little lower than that, but bounced back, so 240. So 18 pounds down. So that, the desired effect, that's pretty good. Happy with that. Cholesterol total. So in December, when I had my blood work done, I had my highest total cholesterol I've ever had that I know of 215. And I've kept pretty good track over the last 15 years or so. So that scared me. Total cholesterol 215. That's over where they start being concerned. And my usual cholesterol has been 150, 180, my overall, that is. All right, so December is 215, March is still 215, so I hadn't moved that number at all. Now, interesting, my doctor doesn't look at the overall, she breaks down the individual numbers. So my LDL cholesterol, also known as bad cholesterol, in December I started off at 135, and when I went in March, I think it was 154. So that's a sizable increase. And very concerning to me because I was trying to make that number go the other way. I did a little online research, and the one thing I can say that kept coming up was if you have a genetic disposition to high cholesterol, then stay away from the saturated fats. If you do keto, stay away from MCT oil. And so that's something I didn't really think of, but probably my other family members are on cholesterol drugs, so I should have probably thought about that. And I'm not giving advice there, I'm just telling you that's what I found on YouTube and other research I did was if you have a genetic disposition to high cholesterol, stay away from keto that uses anything with high saturated fats is what the other videos I watched said. So not my advice from other people. So yeah, so that's quite an increase. My doctor told me that if I don't do something about that, she's going to have to prescribe cholesterol medicine for me, and I definitely don't want that. And also more pertinent, in the next 10 years, it significantly increases my chance of a heart attack or stroke, keeping the cholesterol at that level. So I've gone back to, what's the prognosis? So after meeting with the doctor, going over for all my numbers, we had 2 action plans. One was to continue keto, but totally cut out saturated fats as much as possible. So olive oil, avocado oil, no MCT oil, no saturated fats from butter, and try and get my oils from avocados and things like that, nuts and fish. That was option 1. The other option is to go back to what I normally eat, which is more almost a vegetarian diet with some lean meats, and she recommended that route because usually my numbers are really good. And also my wife, who hasn't been doing keto but has been eating like we normally have, had her lowest cholesterol numbers ever and actually got to come off a prescription, so that was good. Yeah, so my wife actually, who's been eating like we normally do, got to come off her, let me restart that. So my wife actually had her best cholesterol numbers in years because she's been eating more of just a vegetarian diet with lean meats and of course the salmon and stuff too. And so the doctor really pushed me to go that route going forward. And maybe I'll check in another couple months and see what that's done to my numbers. But anyway, that's my summary of keto. Should have done a little more research and thought about my hereditary prognosis. So after meeting with the doctor, going over for all my numbers, we had 2 action plans. One was to continue keto, but totally cut out saturated fats as much as possible. So olive oil, avocado oil, no MCT oil, no saturated fats from butter, and try and get my oils from avocados and things like that, nuts and fish. That was option 1. The other option is to go back to what I normally eat, which is more almost a vegetarian diet with some lean meats, and she recommended that route because usually my numbers are really good. And also my wife, who hasn't been doing keto but has been eating like we normally have, had her lowest cholesterol numbers ever. I think if I stayed away from the saturated fats, I think I would have probably had better all-around numbers by the end. Also not a completely perfect study because I did have gum surgery during that 3-month period and was totally off keto for a good week for sure, and also that interrupted my intermittent fasting for over a week. And also the holidays are in there, so those were troubling, difficult, challenging days like Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve, and I know I didn't do perfect keto on those days or some other family get-together events, So I have to put the disclaimer in there that I might have had different results if it was a different time of year as well. But anyway, that's my summary for it. Back to the vegetables and lean meats for me, and hopefully keep my weight where it is now that I took some off, and see if we can get that bad cholesterol under control. Thanks for listening, and I hope that you found this video helpful.